Hi, I'm Darlene. Welcome to Super at 60. We're in the kitchen this afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon and I have a bit of a task before me. It's early afternoon, but I need to have something ready by tonight for some very dear friends. So I'm putting together one of our back of the box recipes from the back of the box series. I'll list that video below because that is a must see. And that is the one pot baked ziti. We're making that today. Yes, we are. I have all the ingredients plus a few more, because if you know me, you know I just can't keep it to the recipe. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try really, really hard. And then the second thing I'm gonna make, actually I'm gonna start with the first thing because it's dessert. I can get that in the oven while I'm cooking on the other thing. It is called a cinnamon flop. It's an Amish cinnamon flop. Okay, I've made it for years and years for my family when my boys were little as well. And they totally enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it. It doesn't make a whole lot. It makes about 4 to 6, probably about 4, comfortably 4. It's a wonderful coffee kind of bread if you just need a little something in the afternoon with your cup of coffee or your cup of tea or something like that. It's really great to have on hand. So I'm gonna make that today. It is super, super easy. What's better? We have an easy meal to prepare and we have a super easy dessert to take with us. So join me as we just plug along here and make an absolutely fabulous dinner for some of the best people you could ever want to know. In my bowl right here, I went ahead and put in 1.5 cups sugar. So there's 1.5 cups sugar in there. There are 2 tablespoons of very soft butter. Just leave it out on your counter for a little bit. Overnight, that's fine. So that it's very soft. You put your finger in it and it just is very soft. And then you also want to add a beaten egg. Now, yeah, you can get yourself a little bowl out and beat that egg up and then go ahead and add it in there. That's just fine. But all I do is I put it in a little corner down here, take my whisk, keep it all in one place, whisk it up, and then later I will incorporate it all when I need to. All right, now I'm going to set that just aside for a moment. I'm going to get out another bowl now. This is a very quick recipe and a very delicious recipe it is, but it does take a little bit of maneuvering, if you will. All right, so in this bowl, we are going to just sift together. I don't sift, I just use my whisk, and that kind of really incorporates everything that I need in my flour mixture. All right, so I need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. All right, let me get that ready right out of here. So we know there's gonna be a nice rise there because that's what baking powder does. I'll put that right over here. All right, gosh, I haven't made this in a while. 2 cups of flour. 1. Okay. So 2 things in there and just give it a nice, gentle whisk. Okay, just really gently. Otherwise, the flour and whatever else you have in here could be salt or baking powder we have in there, baking soda, cream of tartar, whatever else they ask you to put in here. Please just do it very lightly or you'll be wearing it. I promise. All right, just a little bit. There you go. It's done. All right, so now we have a cup of milk. Have that already. Just a cup of milk. You don't have to heat it up in the microwave or anything like that. Just a simple cup of milk. Let's bring our creamed mixture forward here. So the next 2 things we're going to do, we're going to alternately add a little bit of the flour and a little bit of the milk to our creamed mixture here. I went ahead and just gave it a good stir with my whisk. It's not hard at all because the butter was nice and soft. If the butter was hard, it'd be a little difficult to do. Get that little hunk right out of there. All right, you can see it came together really nicely after I gave it a good beating with my whisk. Right. It's kind of nice right now. I like that it's not melted butter. I think that kind of makes a difference in your recipe. All right, so here we go. We're going to add some flour. I don't want to be here all day doing this, so I'm just going to add a lot at a time. About half and half probably. We'll get that incorporated in here. Yes, you could use your KitchenAid mixer, your hand mixer, your stand mixer, whatever, it's fine. I just didn't feel like getting it out today because I have made this recipe many times, like I said, and I have always just used this, just my hand, and a good old spatula. Works every time. All right, and now I'm going to add a little bit of milk just to kind of thin that out a little bit. This is where you want to be careful. When you add liquid to your flour, that's when you want to be very, very cautious to make sure you don't stir up that stretchy gluten, or you'll have a very tough baked product. Just fold it over and over again. All right, I'm going to add a little flour now. Actually, I'm going to add, you know what I'm going to do? Since my flour bowl is bigger, I'm going to go ahead and put all this wonderful stuff right into my flour. That way the flour is now in there, and I'll start mixing that up just a little bit. Just takes a couple stirs each time. It's a very, very delicious, very easy recipe. And once you've made it as many times as I've had, I used to make this 1, 2, 3, bing, bang, bong, it was done. But since the boys have been gone, my men, I should call them, married, off, have their own children, their own families, I have not made this in a long time. So it's going to be kind of a treat for Lou and I tonight, as well as our dear friends. Okay, I'm just folding it over and over and over. And the last of the milk, I'm going to pour right in. I'm glad I changed that bowl. I have to make a note in my recipe. Always make notes in your recipes to start with a big bowl, a bigger bowl. All right, okay. And you know what? In about 2 seconds here, as soon as I make sure the flour is all incorporated and all that milk, we'll be ready to pour it into our, guess what? Can you see that? Our dessert pan. I love this little thing. I don't have a, what is it? A Ray Dunn fetish at all. I do have a couple pieces here and there, but am I showing you that right? Yes, I am. Okay. But I do like that one. I don't know why, but I just did. This recipe is called cinnamon flop, and I know exactly what you're thinking. Did she forget something? Like cinnamon? Nope, it's coming. Yep, the cinnamon is coming. All right, that's it. You know, one thing I did forget to do was to spray, so I'll be right back. My oven is preheated to 350. Of course, universal time for baked goods. All right, and in it goes. I'm not whipping that one more minute. Oh, it's beautiful. I love to see the chunks of butter. I think that's really nice. Gives it such a buttery, oh, when the cinnamon hits this buttery cake, there's nothing like it. And then if you dare put a delicious cup of hot coffee with it, or hot, you know, your favorite hot spiced teas or herbal teas, whatever you like, I guarantee this will beat anything you could spend a whole heck of a lot of money on at one of those very, very expensive coffee shops. In my bowl here, I have 1 packed cup of brown sugar. I don't care if you use light or dark or you make your own, it does not matter. 2 teaspoons of freshly ground cinnamon. I'm just kidding, you don't have to freshly grind it. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1 stick of butter. It can be salted, it can be unsalted, it doesn't matter. All right, a little bit soft. You don't want this mushy soft, but mine is kind of room temperature. Okay. All right, I forgot. What am I going to do here? I'll take out 2 knives. All right, I'm gonna get this all chopped up together. This is gonna make like a crumb topping. So that's what you're looking for here. Mix it up. If you want to, you can go ahead and get your hands in there. And that's what I prefer to do. I may end up just diving in there with my hands, but we'll see what the two knives look like. I've heard people say, yeah, just use 2 knives and you can cut it in together. You know, I gotta tell you, I'm not too impressed with that idea at the moment. Oh, heck, you know what? My hands are so spotless clean, they're going in. The one thing I am going to do though is take off my jewelry, because that would just gets all clogged up in those big huge diamonds of mine. That's a joke. All right, here we go. So, is your question answered about the cinnamon? Hence the name cinnamon flop. All right, I'll tell you why they call it a flop too. When you put this topping on, it lays on top. And you just think you're gonna have this wonderful crumbly topping, and it's gonna stay there as it bakes. Well, you'll watch as it comes out that this little crumbly topping makes little pockets, and the cinnamon and the sugar, the brown sugar, just kind of seep down into little pockets into the cake and just kind of flop in there. And as you cut into it, you'll find a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it goes to the bottom and makes, oh, it is so good. A little bit of a crunch from the cinnamon and a little bit of creamy cinnamon goodness from that butter. All right, that's it. We're gonna dollop this all on top and then get it into the oven. This is my favorite part. Okay, just gonna dollop here and there. There's no rhyme or reason really for this. You don't have to count rows, anything like that. But I would strongly suggest an 8x8 pan. Very strongly, you know, a brownie pan. Not a 9x13. You could use an 8-inch round cake pan or even a 9-inch round cake pan. That would work just fine. I think you could probably even use a pie pan. If that's all you have and you want to make this yummy recipe, then go for it. I'm sure that that would work. I may have even done it in the past. All right, and that's what she looks like before she goes into the oven. Okay, we are on to our second recipe, our entree for the evening. My fry pan is nice and hot, so I'm going to give it just a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit. Okay, I have some chopped red onion. You can use yellow onion, white onion, doesn't matter. I just happen to have a red one, and a very small one. If you'd like to use a bigger one, go right ahead. I'll lay this right here in case I need to chop up something later for some reason. All right, we'll get that nice and opaque looking. Just get it cooked. My 2 favorite smells that I just love, and I know there's a lot of you out there who love to be in the kitchen, is onions and green peppers. Oh yeah, anytime, anywhere. There you go. Now we need a pound of ground Italian sausage. They were not specific as to mild or hot or whatever. This is pretty mild. Let me get that going. Sausage and onions are just about done. There's a little bit of grease in there that I kind of sort of like to get out. So I just take some tongs and a paper towel, whip it around my dish, my frying pan, whip it around the frying pan. Just kind of stir it around. Pick up as much as I can, flip it over. Do the same thing on the other side. Just let it run down. All right, squish it all up. Be very, very careful. Let it drip just a minute. Make sure that you have your trash can open or your trash vessel, whatever you're going to use, really close by. My trash can's right there. All right, and I'm going to take a second little piece of paper towel, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Okay, just flip it over just like that. Keep stirring it around. Tip your pan just a little bit so that oil goes to one side, and just let it absorb into the paper towel. It works like a charm every single time. Sometimes if it's extra greasy, whether it's ground beef or sausage of some kind, you might have to use another paper towel or two. But hey, I'd rather do that than have that going through me. Or people that I love. And these are definitely people I love who Lou and I are taking this to tonight. These people are gentle giants. That's what I call them. And they've been in our lives, in our family's lives, a very long time. In fact, for many years, they led a Bible study here, right in our house. I think it was for over 10 years. We had such a wonderful group, a wonderful, wonderful group of people. Some would come, some would go. We met a lot of great people through that group. And these people have just, they're nice, they live nice and close. We still go to the same church. So it's nice that we can go over and minister to them sometimes. All right, this is looking really good and smells so nice. All right, so what I've got in this little bowl right here, I've got all my spices and everything all ready to go. I'm going to throw in, excuse me, I've got a little bit of the sniffles today. 2 garlic cloves, all chopped up. 3/4 teaspoon of oregano leaves. 1 teaspoon of cayenne. You know what? I did leave the cayenne pepper out, but if you'd like to, you can. I just don't have it. A half teaspoon of that would be a half teaspoon of the cayenne pepper, of which I do not have, but you may add it, and it is part of the recipe. And a 1/4 teaspoon of the crushed red pepper, which I did have, and that's in here. And the salt. I didn't put a half teaspoon of salt in there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put that right in. And then stir it real well. Gently, always gently. This should be on like a low heat. Does not have to be on any kind of a high, not even a medium heat. Not even when you're cooking the sausage and the onion with the oil. It doesn't have to be. Yeah. Oh yeah. Very nice. All right, the salt. I did forget a salt. I think with a half a teaspoon. I might just go ahead with a 1/4. Keeping 1/4. I don't want it to be too salty. And there is that red crushed pepper in there, so I'm not even going to add black pepper. The one thing I thought about adding, and if those of you who shop at Aldi or anywhere else, you can get this jarred pesto. Oh, it's so wonderful. I am going to add it. I'm sorry. I got to do it. I got to do me, and that's what I do. But of course, we have been following the recipe exactly, and if you do not have this and do not put it in, that's just fine. But I'm going to do it. Just about that much. Okay, that's not much. That's about a tablespoon. Just dollop it throughout because it's a pretty strong smell. All right. And these are really good friends. So I want to make sure it tastes extra special. But I have to say, just those back of the box ingredients this is not even Aldi. This is Great Value. Great Value Ziti box. There's the recipe right on the box, right on the back of the box. Again, if you want to see my kitchen quick tips 2, I do a video all about what is on the back of our bags and our boxes and our cans that we bring home every day from the grocery store, use the product, and throw them in the trash can. Don't do that anymore, okay? Like I said, become obsessed with what's in those bags and what's in those boxes on the back. Check them out because there are some great recipes like this one, okay? So there, follow it exactly like it is, and I'm pretty much doing that. You're gonna love it. We're gonna love it, and I'm gonna let you know. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and add the marinara sauce or pasta sauce, whatever kind of sauce that you have. They do specifically ask for their brand. All right, that is my cinnamon flop. I'm just going to give it a quick peek. I set it for 20 minutes on 375. I think I said 350 before, but let me change that to 375. So it's probably not quite done yet. And no, it's not, but oh yes, that is smelling. So I'll tell you what, between the sausage, the onion, and that cinnamon and the brown sugar, it smells so good in here. I bet you wish you were here. I wish you were here too. All right, so in goes our sauce. Oops, I forgot to turn that off. All right, that was 20 minutes. Let's do it for another, let's go 10. I'll keep a little bit of an eye on it. Remind me. All right, so here we go. There goes our sauce. Try to keep a neat kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. It will make you happier. It will make you want to be in your kitchen more if you have a nice, tidy, and clean kitchen. Oh, that has settled down now. The sizzle has stopped. Now that's going to cook for about 7 to 10 minutes. Let's see, what else are we going to add in here? Oh, let's see. We put our salt in. All right. We are now going to crank it up. Now's our time to crank it up just a little bit, guys, okay? You don't want to go to super high, but you know, you want to bring it to a boil. So you know how to get your, you know how to get it up to a nice boil. You know why we have to boil it? Because we're going to put in 2.5 cups of water, very gently. You don't want that splashing all over you. Just really gently. And stir that around again, very gently. You could have put this in a deeper pot if you wanted to. I didn't want to. First of all, I love this pan. If you have all clad, you are a lucky person. All right, I see my sauce has come up to a great rolling boil, which is exactly what we were looking for. That didn't take very long at all. Probably about 6 minutes. Just give it a quick stir. And then go ahead and add your entire box. This is a 1 pound, 16 ounce box of Ziti shells. There you go. Just give it another gentle mix. I cannot stress that word enough when you're dealing with tomato stuff, and also very hot boiling sauce and water. Be very careful. All right, now you want to bring it back up to the boil, and then reduce it just a little bit and let it simmer for about 7 to 10 minutes until the Zitis are nice and soft. Not too soft. Okay, you've got to be very careful here. Just al dente, to the bite. You've heard that a million times, but it's true. That's what makes the difference between a great Italian pasta and a really lame one, okay? Don't let it get to the point where it puffs up and starts to split. That's when you know you've gone too far. So keep an eye on it. If you learn that trick between a pasta that's done and not done, you are on your way. All right, I'm gonna let that boil a little bit. I'm gonna turn it down just a smidgen. put the lid back on it, and I'm going to turn my fan on because of the steam, and then I'm going to turn you guys off because you don't want to listen to that. In a time crunch and you need a meal quickly, a really good meal, an impressive meal, hopefully, and a dessert. And the only thing I didn't get to yet is a little bit of a salad to take along with the homemade ranch dressing. So I'm going to show you how everything turned out. Wait till you see that cinnamon flop, which is no flop, by the way. It's a great, great success. I hope that you will make both of these recipes for someone, even if it's for your own family, quickly. All right, the first thing that we made and got right into the oven was that Amish cinnamon flop. Yeah, absolutely fabulous. I have had a fetish with the Amish, if you will, for probably 30 years now, okay? I had an Amish mom. I actually had an Amish mom. She was one of those Amish that, well, she didn't mind to have her picture taken. She passed away last year, so we miss her terribly, dear Annie. But anyway, she would highly approve with both thumbs up on the Amish flop. All right, I'm going to show you why it's that just now. Well, there's our Amish flop. Our cinnamon Amish flop. You see the holes? I mean, those are deep, deep holes of cinnamon, crunchy butter. Can you just even imagine taking a bite of that? Oh, the smell is intoxicating. It's kind of like a perfume. I wish they'd make an Amish flop perfume. Yes, Amish flop, you have to make this. It is delicious. I would make sure your oven is on anywhere from 375 to 400. And put it in there from 25 to 30 minutes. Keep a good eye on it. Check it with a cake tester. Just make sure a whole bunch of batter doesn't come out. The only trouble with testing this out sometimes is just that if you put it in the wrong spot where the cinnamon and the butter are, you might think that it's not done yet. But check very, very carefully. If it's just cinnamon butter and no batter, you're good to be done. I bet no longer than 30 minutes. And look at this, our star of the day. I was thinking about this as this was just baking away or cooking away over there. It's kind of like a make your own hamburger helper, if you will. It really is. All the same kind of things, the pasta, the hamburger, and in this case we use sausage, but you certainly could use hamburger. It's just delicious. I tasted it, I have to admit. The pasta noodles are cooked absolutely perfectly. Let me show you here. Woo-wee, that's hot. Put the top over there. All right. Oh, where's my spoon? Rats. Hold on a second. All right, let me just show you quick here. Pasta's perfect. Yeah, you could just have everybody come right up to the counter with the spoon, plop it on their plate, and you're done. If you want to have a little can of that shake Parmesan fake cheese, that's what we call it here. But hey, in a pinch, that stuff works. It will work just fine for your family. Oh, there's so many things you could throw over it at this time. We like to use a full block of Parmesan cheese and just grate it right over it, or you can grate it individually by the plate. Or what I like to do is go ahead and grind up a bunch of it, put it in a little dish with a little spoon, and you can just put on as much as you like. kitchen with you today. I'm so glad that you were here. We made that delicious one-pot ziti right from the back of the box, the Walmart box of ziti, and it's absolutely fabulous. That's going to a wonderful, wonderful couple tonight. We also made a delicious, delicious cinnamon Amish flop. Just wait, just wait. It's going to be the biggest surprise. You will absolutely adore it. It was so easy to put together. Just a few little easy, quick steps, and 1, 2, 3, it's in the oven, and in just about 30 minutes, it's ready for you to enjoy. Thank you so much again for joining me here at Super at 60. I'm Darlene. Please leave me a comment below, subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon right here in my kitchen. Bye-bye.